putting everything on being recorded now. And again, I welcome everyone that has called in and everyone that listens to this talk and meditation at a later date. Tonight's topic is on aligning the mind, body, and spirit with change. And just a little bit about heads up regarding the flow of this conference call, and also what we're going to go over is that I'm just going to discuss some things regarding the subject and some tips and or some information to assist you in aligning your body, mind, and spirit with accelerated change and or change in one way or another. And then the meditation will be involved in the same subject of aligning these aspects of ourselves and being, say, in more balance and aligned with change. And I also want to say now, in case I forget to say it when we're getting ready to do the meditation, is that anything that I discuss in the meditation or the clearings in the meditation can be listened to at a later date and have the same effect that they do live in the same time. The only thing that really limits these clearings regarding the meditation or anything is your own willingness. If you truly wish to connect in and do these affirmations and or participate in the meditation, listening to these meditations at a later date have just as much as effect. So it's nice that we are joining together at the same time, no matter where you are on the earth at this time, what time zone. It is a very, very powerful when we do it together at the same time, yes, but it's also as powerful when you listen to it and do it at a later time also. So I'm going to discuss some things, and for those of you on the phone listening this time and participating, I'll talk for a while, and then we'll get into the meditation. And after the meditation, if you would like to say anything or have a question or comment, I'm going to then take the call off of mute. Right now, everyone is muted that are participating in the call. And at that time, I'll take everyone off of mute, and then we can discuss and have some question and answer time, whatever you like. So, getting into the subject, aligning the mind, body, and spirit with change. Last month, in the previous month, we talked about the subjects of becoming more aligned with the universe, integrating your universal consciousness, and this sort of month about, breaking it down into specific parts of ourself, let's say the mind, body, and spirit, and is to become more aware of everything that I'm going to discuss tonight and or share, either the information in itself or the information that's going to be provided or that we're going to focus on in the meditation, is that I invite you to be more of as say an observer than you, to a greater degree than you might have previously viewed, say, other information from meditations or any other situation. The main reason for this is, to give you an example, is the Buddha, when the Buddha was asked, "Who are you?" the Buddha said, "I am awareness." And in one aspect or another, that's who we all are. We're simply awareness. And the description of just simple awareness is also could be described as observation. We're simply a level of consciousness observing and or just awareness. And how we relate to this environment in one way or another is strictly is how we attach ourselves to the environment, either through a situation with someone else or something, to something else, how attached we are to our own belief system of this is the way it is and this is how I see it. It's these kinds of things that we are more tied into more of a tunnel effect of restriction in some ways than we are being the true observer and or strictly awareness, open-ended awareness that looks at all views and doesn't really sees that everything is a part of you, and seeing everything from an observer view and not really claiming anything. The more that we claim to say, this is my belief system, this is how I see it, these are what builds the veils of our own levels of consciousness. And the more of these veils and these belief systems and ways of saying of what you claim as your own, this is what really structures our own limitations in some ways. And the more that we release of these belief systems, these veils of our own construction of our, say, fears or self-created limitations on our own self-denials of our own being, denial of our own, another level of our own self. These are all different veils that we hold on to. The more that we release these veils, the more that opens up, the more we become more strictly awareness. And at the same time, we really look at how our being, how we relate to the reality, this reality for which we exist in. And our emotions are really tied into a lot of these levels of our own being. And the more that we hold on to things, the more, say, our being is in a state of magnetized like energy and in a duality sense. So when something is portrayed to us that is, say, in the other side of the duality state for which we perceive, when we're in that state of being of total, say, separation from one aspect to another, or a state of total duality, that's when our being is like a magnetic pull from one side to the next. And in a lot of ways, when we're in those states of our being, these different magnetic energies are played out through our emotions. And so we experience an emotional roller coaster. Either that's through fear or separation of something else or judgment or whatever else. Those are all played out through our emotions. So the more that we release these patterns, self-disempowerment, separation, it actually brings balance into our being, because we are moving out of emotional body. We're moving out past the emotional body. The emotional body doesn't affect us. And the emotional body is a part of our own being, just as the ego is a part of our own being. The ego is what creates fear and judgment. But the ego, along with the emotional body, is only a part of the total levels of our own being. It's only a part of. we can evolve and or exist in this 3D reality beyond the ego. We can exist and operate in 3D reality beyond the emotional body. Therefore, if you exist and integrate your own light and knowledge beyond the emotional body, you exist in a state of balance. There's no more roller coaster of emotional balance. So, the first part that I would like to talk about regarding the mind, body, and spirit is the body. As you know, many of you who listen to this know that we are going through a time of accelerated change. And change in itself is the same I relate to as ascension. Ascension is change from one form or frequency of light to another. And in regard that we'll start off with and talk about the body for a little bit. When frequency is coming through any form, it creates resistance. And when we are trying to stay aligned and stay balanced, and specifically talking about the body, and again, as I said at the beginning, let's look at this from an observer role. If all you do is be the observer of your body, observe how it actually is reacting to your environment, seeing that are you giving the body what it needs to stay balanced and be aligned? And to see that we are the energy and or consciousness or spirit, that the body, we use the body as a vehicle to experience this reality through. And if you're viewing it from that standpoint, the body, then of course you're seeing it from necessarily a state of awareness. You're seeing it from the state of an observer role, something outside observing. So if you're observing the body, each of our bodies, as we are in this state of continuous change, is the body right now working in survival mode? What is going on with the body? Is it going through, is it having pain, or is it having, resistance in some way? And the physical body is, very dense. And so, and all of our levels of being are attached, of course, to the body. The body is one and the same with all levels of ourself, on the 5th all the way through the 12th. It's just one aspect of our eternal self. It's an aspect of and or a reflection of our eternal self. You can say it in a lot of different ways. But the easiest way to I'm just going to throw out some information regarding some suggestions and or tips to keeping the body and more aligned during change. Regarding the body and everything else I've said, the immune system of the body is very much tied into what we could say the life force energy of our being. The more healthy the immune system is, the more balanced the body is. The better it feels, the higher frequency it is. So we can look at doing things for our body to enhance our immune system. One of the things that the immune system is tied to is the pH level of our body. And there's a couple different ways to check that you can have your doctor or you can do it yourself, is check the pH level of your urine, not of the blood, because the blood pH level and the urine pH level are actually two different things. What I'm talking about right now is the urine pH level. And if the urine pH level is above alkaline, it's above 7, if say approximately about 8% alkaline, you know that your body is in a state of alkaline, means balance. If your pH level, of course, was below 7, it would be in an acidic range. And acidic means, your body is more prone to getting sick or on a lower frequency in some ways. So keeping the body aligned with change, as more frequency and energy and consciousness are running through our body, we have to assist it in staying balanced. So monitoring, making sure that you're, enhancing your immune system, your body is operating in an alkaline state is a very good thing to assist with that. The other thing is doing things that assist in the flow of your nervous system, your nadi system, and your lymphatic system. Your lymph nodes, the meridians of your body, and so on, are tied into like a grid work of your being. And usually when there's an energetic blockage within some level of the system, it's going to cause some type of resistance again. So doing things such as that stimulate, of course, the flow of energy through your meridian system, your lymph nodes, and so on, like breathing, simple breathing, going to yoga, stretching out these systems, getting somebody to work on you, either going through to a massage therapist or someone that actually works in a combination of massage therapy and energy therapy to really work out these nadi system and meridians that assists in the flow of the energy that's running through your physical body. The combination of those two things, of monitoring the health of your immune system and doing different things to stimulate the flow of energy through your body that allows you could say the pipes, of our nervous system to assist in the flow of blood to run through the body, in different ways to do that, either through exercising, again, assists in the movement of the blood. As we are bringing more energy through our body's going to want to cleanse itself of toxins. So drinking more water, of course, is going to assist with this. And doing different things to really allow the body to continue to cleanse. As we go through this year, and we're bringing a lot more levels of awareness, levels of consciousness through our physical body. Consciousness is frequency. And when you're integrating higher levels of your own consciousness through the physical body, your body has to be able to withstand those levels of frequency. Of course, if it can't, then that's where resistance builds up and you experience some form of blockage or whatever in some way. So, like everything I'm really describing to you, you could really view as preventative maintenance or just taking care of your physical vehicle. Your vehicle is what we experience this reality through. When your physical vehicle is not feeling very good, of course, you're not having a very good time. You're not out jumping around in flowers or running through the grass. You're not really able to get out and relate with with life in a lot of different ways. I'm sure you all understand what I'm trying to relate here. So being more of the observer of what your physical body is going through when these levels of energy are running at a higher rate than we may have ever experienced before. And to see that we have to maintain and or assist our body in going through these things. If that means doing something you've never done before, if you've never gone to yoga, it might be good for you to experience it, but each person is up to every individual and what aligns with your heart, not what I say or anyone else's. If you truly feel drawn to doing something different, then reach out and try different things to assist your mind, body, and spirit in adjusting during this time. So, going on to the mind. The mind, of course, is one of the main regulators of the body. What we claim as our own thought or our own emotion is what the body takes as a direct, say, order. So paying attention, again, you can always just sort of like perceive this as being the awareness, just as Buddha was. We are all Buddhas in simply awakening to our own Buddha state or our own Christ conscious state or Krishna state of consciousness. We are awakening to our own divine nature, our own God self nature. So, again, when it comes down to the mind, the soul self that we are is what channels the information from the mind. The mind is like a computer that exists and is attached to the body. We use the mind to communicate through to experience this reality. So the mind in itself does have a consciousness separate from the soul. And it's our choice when we come into this body as a soul. It's during those first 6 or 7 years that the ego consciousness is developed. It's about 6 or 7, 8 years old is when us in our child state, or any child, is usually stops channeling the information coming from our I am presence level, which exists in the 8th dimensional level of our being, and starts channeling the information coming from our ego. It takes about 7 or 8 years, 6, 7, 8 years, for that ego consciousness to be developed. And so it's usually at that time that we all sort of just live out of that ego consciousness. We sort of forget the connection we have with our eternal self of the I am presence. And so as we are awakening and we are going through a time of change, it's really, is regarding the mind, is becoming more of the observer of our own mind, the observer of our own thoughts. Do we claim this thought as our own? Do we claim, say, I am tired, or I am sick, or paying attention to what we are saying, and knowing that when we say something, that our body takes it as a direct order, and that when we say something and or do something, we are, in effect, creating it. And our mind is, again, a tool that is connected to the body. It is this level of consciousness also of the ego consciousness that is tied to the bottom 3 chakras and also the left brain hemisphere. And it's, again, the ego is what creates fear and judgment. It's not something that we can really push away. It's not really evil. It's a matter of observing our ego consciousness and choosing to operate from a higher level of our being, or, we all have the choice if to listen to our ego consciousness or not. And being aware of the mind and how the mind operates. And the only way to really know how our mind operates and the patterns and the programs that exist in our mind is through observation. There's no real way to really know what someone else is thinking. You might know what their thought is. We're all getting better at, say, knowing what each other are thinking. As we're growing and expanding in our own consciousness, of course, we're growing into the unity consciousness. We're all one mind. So, of course, it's easier for us to know what each other are thinking. But what is different is the perception from which each one of us is viewing the reality, which no one can really know what the other one is perceiving. You might know what they're thinking or what they're feeling, but you really don't know how they're perceiving the reality. On an individual basis, that's what really makes us different from one another, is how we perceive the reality. So, if each one of us are becoming more and more observers of our own being, that means we're observing our own selves from a higher level of our own being. And if you strive to continually be the observer of your own being, as you evolve, you will continually be viewing yourself from another level of your own self. And there's many levels within our own being. So on to the spirit. The I am presence, again, as I stated a little while ago, exists on the 8th dimensional level of our being. It's the 8th chakra. The 8th chakra exists just above our head, approximately 9 to 11 inches. It's the I am presence that creates the soul that attaches to the body. And as I mentioned, when we are born, we are channeling the information from our I am presence. It's at a later, as we grow older through childhood, we begin to more channel the information from our ego consciousness. And as we grow older, at a certain point, then we may feel drawn to get back in touch with our eternal self. And our eternal self is the I am presence. So it's at that time that we make this decision to integrate the knowledge of our eternal self. The more of this knowledge that we're opening up and integrating of our eternal self, that knowledge in itself is frequency. Energy, consciousness is frequency. And relating to the time of aligning, the mind, body, and spirit would change. We are integrating levels of our own being that is going through change like we have never experienced before. Not only on an individual basis, but a collective basis. We are, in effect, assisting each other through this transformation process. On an individual basis, the levels of our being are really held in place by the level of our own personal level of perception and or awareness. If we choose to see reality through the ego consciousness, of course, we're going to see reality in one way. If we choose to see reality through the soul level, we will see it one way. If we choose to see reality through the eyes of the I Am Presence, we will see reality and experience reality in a whole nother way. And the same on beyond the I Am Presence is the monad on the 12th level. We are the choice. We, the observer, simple awareness, make the choice of which level of our being we wish to perceive reality through. So taking that in note, and to know that every single level of our being has a counterbalance part of our being. There's levels within our being, in all levels, that continuously wants to stay in balance, that regulates the levels of our being, that tries to keep things in balance as much as possible. So where I'm going with this is trying to say is, when we're integrating higher levels of our own spirit, our own consciousness, our eternal light, through the levels of our being, where there's resistance, where there's lower frequency energy, where there's blockages, that's where things are trying to automatically adjust. They're trying to automatically balance. This balancing, in effect, is playing out through the resistance in the body or through resistance in a level of our own consciousness. When we experience something mentally that totally is like freaks out our mind, or our mind just spins, and or we become dizzy, or we're experiencing something we never experienced before, or the mind is stressed. It's those times that we, as stepping into our roles as more of an eternal being in a physical body, the more that we take control, to stand in our own power and say, I am the controller of my physical being. I hereby regulate these levels of myself now, and doing different things to assist in these balance and these changes, such as breathing, taking extra effort to go out and do whatever you have to do to bring more balance within yourself. This may mean that you might have to, again, do things that you're not usually used to doing. If that means going to a gym a couple of days a week to get your blood flowing, to help your body adjust to all this frequency that's running through your body, then that's what you might have to do. Or taking time out of your day to simply go somewhere in the bathroom. If you're at work and you're experiencing so much turbulence within yourself, around your atmosphere, around other people, is strictly taking the time to breathe. Breathing and releasing. Really letting go of the duality state of being in constant struggle with the people that you're around or the environment. Letting go of the resistance within yourself that creates the resistance and the blockages, not only in the physical body, but also in the mind, and restricts the eternal light that you are and knowledge from flowing. It's our levels of our own being that, again, is the gatekeeper to our eternal light and knowledge. So, going on a little bit about our own God self and the divine balance of our own God self. We can't really integrate the eternal light of our own being, of knowledge, of our I am presence, or our God self monad on the 12th dimensional level strictly by going from 4th to 12th. All levels of integration, not only individually but collectively, is done in a process. Just as the physical body has to be conditioned to handle higher levels of frequency, so does the collective body of all of us together have to be integrated. We have to integrate these frequencies within our collective body, which automatically stabilizes the rest of the collective. So I did a video a couple weeks ago that talked about being the divine balance right now. There's many polarities in the world that, of course, many of you are seeing playing out in politics or many people that you might come in contact with on a daily basis. The more that we let go of being separate from all these people and or everything else that's going on in the world, letting go of the polarities, letting go of the separation, being the encompassing energy, the divine balance of all that is, the encompassed energy of both Mother, Father, Source, or both the feminine and masculine energy. Not seeing that anything separate, or in letting go of all of these inner, say, these levels of separation and or patterns of separation within us. The outside reality does not change unless we have the willingness to change and allow change to happen within us. The more that we integrate our own divine balance beyond separation, beyond duality, it automatically counterbalances the other energies that are in existence within this reality. This does not happen through mental wanting something to happen mentally. It's like, I wish it was like this instead of like this. Or I wish these people would do this instead of this. That is love with conditions. Love without conditions as total unity beyond a certain outcome. And integrating the love that you are on an eternal basis is love without conditions. The more you integrate that love without conditions within your own self, it's automatically reflected in the outside. And loving the environment, again, is an automatic reflection. What you put out is what you get back. If you put out energies of separation, energy views of seeing and or wishing something separate from you, seeing something separate from you, changing in a certain way, you're going to have an experience and or something in return, because everything is a mirror. And the more that we're integrating these higher levels of consciousness and frequency through our physical body, which means our mirror that we are gets bigger and bigger. That means what we send out is much more stronger, and what comes back is that much stronger. So the more that you integrate the divine balance of love without conditions to everything within your environment, you will be in balance. There won't be as many roller coasters. You will be aligning the mind, body, and spirit. And no matter what happens in the reality of what may be viewed to one person as a total chaotic moment where it's very hard for them to adjust or be at peace or even breathe. If you are total balance within yourself, you will be able to stay in balance in that space of change or whatever, while at the same time you will be the divine balance for everyone else within that's going through different changes. We are all doing this together. We're all moving through these changes together. So I think those are the main things that I wanted to get across. And I can see now that next month I'm going to be talking more about conditioning the levels of our consciousness and different things regarding conditioning of our being. So from here is to let us be the observers of non-attachment to not only the levels within our own being, but to the environment for which we see and or experience. The more that we are at peace and balance within ourselves, the more that our environment will be at peace and balance. And let us break out of the shells that we hold against ourselves, the fears, the judgments of ourselves, and also everyone else. And in that way of being, we and ourselves will be becoming more of the divine balance, not the exception of one energy or another, but the encompassing energy of all elements and all energies in the universe and beyond. So that's just time now. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. Just wherever you are, just making yourself comfortable, uncrossing your legs or your arms, closing your eyes, taking 3, 4 deep breaths through your nose and then blowing it out through your mouth. As you continue to breathe, I hereby state to the upstairs team of love to assist in these phone lines and these connections at this time, that all of these connections and phone lines, there is no outside interference in any way. That all of these connections that we have at this time in these phone lines is hereby in alignment with our highest good and divine will of our eternal I Am presences. All other connections and or energies through these phone lines that are not in alignment with our highest good and divine will are hereby transmuted to light now. So that all our connections are pure and encompassing all energies within our space of each one of us individually are listening to this either on the phone and or afterward. are all in alignment with our highest good and divine will of our I am presences. That all is released, is automatically transmuted into love without conditions, and all again is in alignment with our highest good and divine will. I hereby fill the space of all that hear my words with the silver violet flame, radiating, 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 out through the levels of your physical being and out through all levels of your physical self and all light bodies, out to the encompassing levels, out to your 12th dimensional level of your monad, filling all levels of your being with the silver violet flame now. All again in alignment with your highest good and divine will of your I am presences. Silver violet flame radiating, radiating, radiating. All energies released through the levels of your being are automatically transmuted into light with silver violet flame throughout this meditation. All in harmony and balance. Take a deep breath. Hereby I ask the assistance of Kuan Yin and Mother Mary. I hereby station Mother Mary and Kuan Yin on each side of you that are listening to my words at this time. Now, Kuan Yin is on one side and Mother Mary's on the other. Hereby say to Mother Mary and Kuan Yin to radiate the divine love, the feminine aspect of source light through all dimensional levels of your being, all in alignment with your highest good and divine will throughout this meditation, all in alignment with your I am presences. The divine feminine energies of the goddess of love radiating, radiating, radiating through all levels of your being throughout this meditation, all in harmony and balance. Breathe. Everybody take a deep breath. And with this breath, see, feel, imagine your feet sinking down in through Mother Earth. Just up to your feet, coming into the crust of Mother Earth, going down through the ground a little bit. And as you breathe, your feet just sinking into the earth up to your knees. Mother Earth radiating, 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 pure love without conditions of your connection with Mother Earth. And with the radiance of Kuan Yin and Mother Mary, radiating the goddess energies in all levels of your being now. And you're firmly grounded into the center of Mother Earth now. Now with your next breath, take your awareness to either the back of your right hand or your arm, and any portion of your arm. Take your awareness smaller and smaller to where you can actually see your skin. You may be able to see the cracks within your skin or the pores within your skin. It is one of the pores within your skin that I wish for you to see at this time. Just visualize it, imagine it. Don't struggle with it. Just imagine seeing a pore of your skin at this time, somewhere on your right hand or right arm. Within all levels of our physical being have spin points. Just as the universe spins in one direction or another, so does all the nadis and meridians within our physical being. Within this meridian of this pore on your skin and your breath, take a deep breath and imagine breathing out of that pore in your skin at this time. You may see the energy around that pore spinning in one direction or another. Take another deep breath. See that pore spinning with greater frequency, with greater power, and opening up. Take another deep breath. Breathe out. Feel the breath breathing out through that pore on your skin now. Take a deep breath. Expand the pore out to where it's a portion of your skin now, maybe encompassing many pores or a certain region on your hand or your arm. Take a deep breath. See, feel, imagine. When you take the breath, you are breathing out of that portion of your skin. The meridians on this portion of your skin are opening up with your breath. Breathing, opening up those pores, opening up those meridians. Take another deep breath, and with your next breath, expand out the portion of your skin. It may be encompassing your whole hand and half of your arm at this time. Just take a deep breath. See, with your breath, you are breathing in and breathing out with that portion of your body. All is flowing with your breath within that portion of your body. You breathe. With each breath, resistance within that portion of your body is let go. It's transmuted. It is automatically opened up. With your next breath, expand up your arm, either to your elbow or toward your shoulder. Take a deep breath, and you breathe in and out with your whole arm. Your breath and your arm and your breath is one. Breathe. Release. All energies flowing through the meridians and nadis within your arm are free flowing. Just breathe and release. Expand out the size to your chest. Next breath. Through to the other arm. Breathing, releasing out, releasing the nadis and the meridians in the other arm now. With each breath, see it continue to expand. And the meridians and the nadis within the other arm are opening up with each breath. Deep breaths. Take a deep breath. Expanding out now into your chest, going down into your torso. Breathing, releasing all resistance in your physical body. Seeing these meridians spinning in one direction or another. Your physical body is being opened up. All these meridians are spinning, hundreds, thousands of them, spinning in one direction or another, just spinning. With each breath, they open up wider and wider, going down through into your waist, opening, opening, opening. With each breath, opening up these meridians and these nadis, all in alignment with your highest good and divine will of your I Am presences, opening, opening, opening. Concentrating on the meridians and the nadis now. I ask assistance of your I Am presences and God Self-Monads to assist with each breath to bring through higher frequencies of Mahatma love without conditions, down in through these nadis that are opening up. So with your awareness, continue to open. Open up your nadis and meridians with each breath, expanding down and through your legs. Thousands of meridians on your body are now spinning openly, opening. With each breath, they are opening up and releasing all tension, all resistance within your nadis and meridians. Expanding down into your lower legs. Deep breaths. See all these thousands of meridians points just spinning and releasing energy. And with each breath, you are breathing with the body. The body is one breath. You breathe in, you breathe out. Going up into the back of the neck, if you haven't already, and through the skin on the top of your head and your face. Taking deep breaths and releasing, and all the pores and meridians on your face, your ears, the bottoms of your feet, and the tops of your feet, the backs of your hands. With each breath, thousands of meridian points spinning and releasing energy. Just releasing. Breathing in energy, releasing energy, and allowing it to flow. Now with your next breath, see, feel, imagine all of these thousands of meridians and these nadis on your body are now breathing with each in-breath and out-breath. Your body is breathing and releasing with each breath. Breathing in light, expanding, releasing. With your I Am presences and God Self-Monads, all in alignment with your highest good and divine will, bringing down higher quotants of Mahatma love without conditions down through the higher dimensional levels of your being. And with your breath, breathing it in, expanding it out. Seeing with each breath the spinning energy is radiating out light in all directions of your physical body now. Beyond the physical body, out into your light bodies. All is just flowing and spinning in all directions. And with this breath, take this energy and this openness down through the bottoms of your feet now. Offering the love and light that you are to Mother Earth. Saying out loud, if you wish at this time, I love you. I love you. I love you. Again, you repeat out loud or to yourselves if you choose at this time. I hereby release all energies, programs, and codes that no longer serve me in alignment with my highest good and divine will now. Release, release, release. Take a deep breath. See all levels of your physical body breathing as one and releasing. Deep breath. Breathing in your eternal light of love without conditions and breathing it out and releasing. Taking your focus now to the earth, Mother Earth, that you are fully grounded in at this time. Seeing this spinning motion of love, of the meridians that you've opened up in your physical body. And take your attention to the earth's chakras and meridians of the body. Just as you opened up the meridians and nadis on your own physical body with your breath, there was no judgment. There was just release. There is no good or bad. There just is expansion or resistance. There's no need to see as one thing as from a polarized view. Simply offer the love that you are without conditions to Mother Earth. See the spinning light that you are down below your feet of your Earth Star chakra spinning in one direction or another. It is simply just spinning. And you feed that star of love that you are at the Earth Star chakra below your feet just with more love. Radiating, radiating, radiating. Spinning the star of light that you are on Earth at this time. Seeing this star of light that you are spinning on Earth at this time out into the meridians and the chakras of Mother Earth. Your physical body is one with Mother Earth. You open up your body, you are opening up the levels of Mother Earth. So with your breath, breathe. See out beyond your physical body, out into the region and or beyond your physical house or building that you sit. Your energies are going out into all directions. You may perceive out further beyond your house, beyond your city, seeing the energy that you're breathing into the grid, going out through the meridians, through the connecting points of the ley lines, out through to the meridians and nadi and chakra system of Mother Earth, going out in all directions, out beyond the oceans, into the other continents, all around the world, in all directions and all corners of the earth. Breathing, just like you did with your body, and opening up the meridians, going out into the corners of the earth, and breathing in all levels, in all corners. Just breathing. Seeing the love flow bringing down your own essence of eternal love without conditions and just allowing these meridians and the love without conditions just to flow freely, without conditions or intention, just allowing the love to flow. Breathing as one with Mother Earth. Mother Earth now radiating divine balance. The goddess of light, radiating, radiating, radiating. And with each breath that you make, just breathing as one with the heartbeat of Mother Earth. With your next breath, you may be seeing your expanded self, one with Mother Earth and all the meridians and all the chakras of Mother Earth. Breathing as one with Mother Earth of all the chakras and all the nadis and meridians. But you're not only breathing as one with Mother Earth. Your hearts are beating as one with those of all in human form. With your next breath, you're beating as one with all of the animals, all the dolphins and whales, just breathing as one with all on the earth. Releasing all separation within your being. Becoming the encompassing one of all energies on earth. And just breathing. Taking this expanded sense of being out further, beyond the earth. Out past some of the planets. Just breathing, seeing the planets as meridians, as nadi points. Breathing, going out to where you have an expanded view of simply the spinning motion of the universe. The universe is just spinning before your perceptual view in one direction or another. It's just spinning. And with your breath, you are one with the universe. It is at this time when simple embodiment and breathing as one with all that is, you are being the eternal light of your own God selves. And it is this time your I am presences, I hereby state to your I am presence and God self monads to bring in balance and alignment all levels of your being on all levels. All is integrated and hereby aligned in perfect harmony and balance. Say out loud or to yourselves if you wish, I hereby align all elements and levels of my being in perfect harmony and balance in all dimensional levels of my being now. Breathe, take a deep breath. We've worked ourselves out from the spinning meridians in our physical body, our connection with the earth and the universe. I hereby now say to all that are open, all in alignment with your highest good and divine will, on this night of Shiva, that all is feel connected through your hearts and or wish to hereby state and ask the assistance of Shiva in releasing any program and or pattern within you at this time that no longer serves you in alignment with your highest good and divine will. And any energy, program, or coding that you wish to release that does not align with your eternal light and or integration of light in any way that you wish to release. With your breath, state to yourself out loud or to yourself if you wish. Call on the essence of pure light, Shiva, all in alignment with your highest good and divine will to release, to bring elements of your being and perfect harmony and balance on all dimensional levels. I hereby state to all of you that listen to my words, I am not activating anything from my being. You are activating these levels, and they're clearing the space for your own love and light to flow. So, I'm only facilitating the space for this flow of energy to go. For you to integrate more of your own love and all that are open to receive. And with the pure essence of Mother, Father, Source of Shiva, all state out loud if they wish, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Don't worry if the words do not sound perfectly. The intention and energy of your own willingness to release and become the integrated eternal light of your own God selves in the physical body is all that is needed. It is your intention and willingness to be one with your eternal light is all that is needed. Hereby state out loud or to yourself as you wish at this time, I love you. Who you're saying this to, I love you, does not have to be anywhere. It does not have to have a specific ending point. I love you. I love you. Breathe. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Love. Taking a deep breath. The pure essence, the goddess energy, the pink light, flowing, flowing, flowing in all directions, to all and all flows in all directions of the universe through Mother Earth. And that of Mother Earth's been radiating along with Kuan Yin and Mother Mary, bringing the divine balance of the goddess light through all dimensional levels within this quadrant of creation. As we each integrate the full aspects of our own divine balance, of the full aspect of our own feminine and masculine energies within our physical being, all these elements are brought into complete alignment and harmony and balance. Know from this day we are the divine balance of our own being. We are the regulators of our own energy flows. That all is eternal and all is connected. To bring back your awareness to your physical bodies, moving your hands and feet and breathing. Know that you can come back at this time or any time at a later date with the breathing to know that it's the simple breathing and bring in alignment to the nadis and meridians of our body, bringing balance within our physical body and bringing in higher frequency of our own love is that assists in balancing all energies within the universe. It brings the divine balance not only within our own being, it brings the divine balance to all within the existence. So I thank all that have participated in this phone talk, meditation, and all that listen to this meditation at a later time. And I thank and honor all that truly stand in their own power, have the willingness to release the levels and fears, your own levels of doubt of your own being and eternal light, stepping into the roles of your own God selves, and us together, working together to be the divine balance. It is through us focusing and being the encompassing light of all energies that brings divine balance. We have to change the inside levels of our own being in order for that to be reflected throughout. The outside does not change first. The inside always has to change first. Let us integrate these divine balance and share our divine light, internal light, and knowledge with all. So I thank you again. Namaste.